You know how it goes. At that moment, I was trying to get close, keeping things sweet and affectionate between us. She came into bed, wrapped her arms around me, kissed me. Everything felt right. I was ready to take things further, but just when it was time to get intimate, she quietly pulled away. You feel me? I'm sitting there thinking, all right, something's off. After all that, she just goes back to sleep in the same room with her friend that night. That set off all kinds of alarms in my head. I'm no genius, but this situation wasn't adding up at all. Something definitely wasn't right. Now, if there's one thing Remy Ma does best, it's calling out her enemies without holding back. She started throwing shade at Papoose, calling him dusty, saying he rode her coattails and then bounced as soon as he found someone else to replace her. But here's the kicker. While Remy was spilling all this tea, her own secrets started to unravel. Turns out she had a lesbian lover who just came forward to drop the real, unfiltered truth about their relationship. Word on the street is that Remy and her lover were involved right from the start of her marriage to Papoose, keeping it all on. The down low, at least until Papoose unexpectedly caught them in the act. Naturally, Claressa Shields couldn't help but feel a sense of vindication when this bombshell came out, adding even more fuel to the fiery Remy Ma and Papoose saga. 1. Moment. They were the picture of black love goals. The next, they acted like strangers with years of history and kids between them. This drama really blew up after Claressa appeared on The Breakfast Club, talking about her situation with Papoose and Remy Ma, and surprisingly, she said it wasn't all that wild. Still, her beef with Remy last year was probably the messiest, offering drama she's had in a long time. Honestly, she said she doesn't hold any ill will toward any women, including Remy. They haven't even spoken since. Just a few posts, and that's it. But as she put it, women are emotional beings. And maybe that's what fueled the whole thing. She wasn't sure if it was just emotions running high because they don't really know each other, and neither one truly understands the other's side. You know what I'm saying? Right when that interview hit the internet, Remy Ma did not hold back. She came at Papoose with full force, no hesitation, and trust me, she had plenty to say. This was not some light jab or vague shade. This was a full-on verbal assault, raw and unfiltered. She went straight for the jugular, calling him out like nobody's business, laying it all out there for the world to see. According to her, Papoose might just be the lowest earning person she's ever been with. And when she says that, she means it. Hands down, no competition. That's not an exaggeration or a petty insult, but a deep-seated truth from years of shared experiences that have clearly left a bad taste in her mouth. She didn't just stop at calling him low income or broke. She painted a vivid picture of a man who has been stuck in the shadows of failure for so long that it changed him completely. Remy called him dusty, a term that in their world means outdated, struggling, and honestly, washed up. According to her, Papoose is bitter, angry, and resentful, and she blamed this bitterness squarely on a long string of career flops and missed opportunities that never turned out the way he wanted. These professional setbacks weren't just disappointments, they were life-altering blows that seemingly flipped him into a completely different person, someone she says she doesn't even recognize anymore. When Remy talked about Papoose's inability to pay bills, it was like peeling back the curtain on the man behind the scenes. She accused him of never taking financial responsibility seriously. In her eyes, he was the type who relied on others to carry the weight while he stood by with empty pockets. That's a serious allegation, especially coming from someone who spent years with him, sharing a life and building a future together. The financial strain she described wasn't just about money. It was about respect and accountability, things she says he failed to uphold. The bitterness she mentioned isn't something that appeared overnight. Remy linked it directly to his career's many failed attempts at success. Each loss, flop, or missed shot at greatness chipped away at his confidence and pride until it turned into a toxic cocktail of resentment. It wasn't just about losing the spotlight or the money, it was the emotional toll of watching dreams fade, the frustration of not living up to potential, and the anger that spilled over into their personal life. In Remy's telling, this bitterness changed the man she once loved, creating a wedge between them that only grew wider with time. You could almost hear the pain behind her words as she described how the career struggles transformed Papoose into someone unrecognizable. The man who once had passion and drive was now someone weighed down by failure and bitterness, someone who had lost his way. That bitterness wasn't just internal. It spilled out into their relationship and their everyday life, causing fights, tension, and heartbreak. Remy made it clear that it wasn't just the external failures that hurt, but the way those failures reshaped the man she was supposed to stand beside. But beyond just calling him out, Remy's words felt like a release, a long-held frustration, finally spilling out. You could tell she was tired of carrying this burden silently. She painted a picture of herself as the one who kept things afloat, who kept trying to hold on when everything seemed to be falling apart. Yet, she wasn't afraid to expose the harsh truths, because at this point, the truth needed to be said loud and clear. There's a deeper layer to this drama too, one that touches on the complexities of love, loyalty, and ambition. Both Remy and Papoose started out as artists, dreamers hoping to make it big. But while Remy found success, rising from the trenches to become a respected name in hip-hop, Papoose's career hit roadblocks that seemed to keep him stuck. That imbalance created a tension that was hard to ignore. When one person is thriving and the other is struggling, it can strain even the strongest bonds. Remy's accusations weren't just about money, they were about the shifting power dynamics, and the resentment that crept in when one person feels left behind. Her words also hinted at a sense of betrayal. She felt like she gave her all, not just emotionally but professionally, only to be met with a partner who wasn't stepping up in the way she needed. The financial struggles, the bitterness, and the lack of responsibility were not just disappointments, but betrayals of the partnership they promised to build. It's the kind of heartbreak that goes beyond infidelity or fights. It's about feeling like your partner isn't the person you thought they were. The way Remy described Papoose made it clear she's done with pretending everything is fine. She's ready to air it out, to show the world the cracks beneath the surface of what once looked like a solid relationship. This isn't just a personal feud, it's a public unraveling of two people who once stood together, but are now pulling apart in very visible ways. And let's be real, this level of drama is exactly what the internet thrives on. The fans, the media, the social platforms, they all want to pick apart every word, every insult, every claim. But underneath the surface, this is a story of real people dealing with real pain, disappointment, and disillusionment. It's a reminder that success doesn't always shield you from heartbreak, and that even the strongest relationships can crack under pressure. What's more, Remy's call-out wasn't just about Papoose's flaws, it was also a warning. She made it clear that she's no longer willing to be silent or play the victim. She's owning her story and using her voice to call out what she sees as wrong. That kind of courage, while messy, is powerful. It shows a woman who refuses to be pushed around or overlooked, even when it means exposing personal struggles in a very public way. This whole situation also raises questions about loyalty and respect in relationships, especially when both parties are public figures. When personal issues spill into the public eye, it can be hard to know what's real and what's hype. But with Remy's raw honesty, it's hard to deny that something deeply painful is going on. She's not just throwing shade, she's trying to take control of her narrative and protect herself from further hurt. In the end, this drama is more than just entertainment. It's a glimpse into the complicated reality behind fame and relationships. It shows how career struggles can impact love, how bitterness can grow when dreams don't pan out, and how sometimes the people we love the most can disappoint us the hardest. Remy's words remind us that even in the spotlight, pain and disappointment are real. And while she may be calling Papoose out for being dusty, broke, and bitter, she's also revealing her own strength in facing those challenges head-on. Whatever happens next, one thing is clear. This story is far from over, and Remy Ma is ready to make sure her voice is heard loud and clear. Remy made it clear she isn't scared of Claressa at all. If anything, she feels sorry for her. Here's this world-class boxer who clawed her way out of the tough streets, from Flint, Michigan, tying herself to a 47-year-old man with no career, multiple baby mamas, and nothing to show except what he got from Remy herself. If I were Claressa's friend, I'd say, "Girl, you just hit 30. You're a world champion with your whole life ahead. Why are you attaching yourself to a man with no career, no steady income, just riding on your success because he's your manager?" Remy didn't hold back either, saying, Papoose is the one acting crazy, refusing to sign papers, refusing to move his stuff out of his ex's house, and even neglecting his own child, the one he begged for, all while talking about wanting another kid. Yeah, Remy wasn't hiding anything. That interview was her moment to let it all out. She revealed that while she was locked up, Papoose wasn't the loyal guy everyone thought he was. He was cheating with one of his baby mamas. She found out by going through his phone, but held on, hoping they could fix things. Remy even said she's been begging him to file for divorce so they can finally end it, and he can come get his stuff and move on with his life. I'm not gonna lie, Remy really spit some truth when she said, "Nobody falls in love faster than someone with nowhere to stay." That line? Straight fire. Of course, now I'm playing the villain in this story, but honestly, show me one woman who had a man treating her right and just threw it all away for no good reason. That's real talk. Here's the cold, hard fact. I told my friends, and they asked, "Do you think he'll ever leave?" I said, "He'll leave when he finds someone new who'll do everything I was doing." Remy knows exactly how to get under Papoose's skin. After her video dropped, Papoose hit Instagram Live and ranted for almost an hour. That's unheard of for him. He dropped some heavy truths about Remy, including her relationship with one of her female friends. He claimed Remy and this woman were meeting up every night at their house. At first, Remy acted like it was just a casual friendship, and Papoose was okay with it, never imagining she swung that way. But then one day, he allegedly walked in and caught them getting intimate, right there with their daughter on the bed. But I told her to leave. I said, "Get out," because I felt seriously disrespected that something like that happened under my roof. That was just wrong. They tried to patch things up for a while, at least until Remy's relationship with Easy went public. Even then, Papoose stayed quiet, while Remy had plenty to say once Claressa and Papoose started showing up together. This is not the first time rumors about Remy being gay surfaced. She denied those back in 2007 after a video of her supposed lover leaked. And in 2021, drama stirred again when it came out that Remy and Erica Mena had considered getting intimate for a love and hip-hop storyline. So Papoose wasn't just pulling these accusations out of thin air. He said, "She was my life. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win." He claimed he wrote 90% of the rhymes she spit since they met. People said it all the time. Pep's the one behind that pen, but he never confirmed or denied it publicly. Honestly, we might never have known any of this if Remy hadn't kicked off this internet drama. Papoose played recordings of Remy begging him to stay with her. Meanwhile, she was sending him random texts saying, "I'm so sorry. I know I'm a bad wife." He still has all those texts. He said, "I don't even know why she's doing this. She's saying things like that, and I'm thinking, this isn't like her. Maybe this guy is holding something over her head." He even played a recording from Delane saying he's controlling her somehow. So far, Papoose believes Remy's side. He added, "Whatever's going on, it's been months. I've got pictures, texts, videos of us. Any rumors about cheating or anything like that can go. It won't stick. The only reason any of this drama is working is because of you." Then he said, "By the way, one reason she's so mad at me is because she blames me. She says if I hadn't knocked him out, she wouldn't have stopped talking to him." Yeah, that's the wild part of this whole saga. She said because I knocked him out, she had to keep talking to him, did not want him exposing stuff. That audio hit hard. Remy's words clearly struck a nerve because Papoose filed for divorce quick. Claressa wasn't holding back either. She jumped in to defend her man. Claressa made it clear she does not play when it comes to her money and won't let any man mess with it. She said Papoose has his own hustle, his own home, and is loyal and dependable. She called Remy out for cheating and flaunting her man while dragging Papoose for similar behavior. Papoose must be doing something right because Claressa says they're planning to start a family. And she told Remy to drop the attitude if she wants to keep getting invited to the cookouts. Chill. But honestly, Claressa better be careful. Remy and Papoose are just getting started, and Claressa might get caught in the crossfire. There's no reason to get involved with a man who's publicly fighting with his wife. Remy and Papoose have put so much into each other. If they want to move on, they need to close this chapter. Nobody wants to see all this mess playing out on social media. Drama is far from over. Child, can someone please take us out of the group chat? This is just getting too painful to watch. It truly hurts to see Remy Ma and Papoose, once the poster couple of loyalty, love, and ride-or-die commitment, spiraling into this place of public bitterness and personal unraveling. No matter how you feel about them individually, what is happening between them now is just sad. We are witnessing something real fall apart, something that once gave people hope in Black love, in second chances, in holding each other down, through the worst. Now, it is like watching a house burn down after knowing how much effort went into building it, brick by brick, through struggle and time. At one point, you could look at Remy and Pap and say, that right there is unconditional love. You could point to how he waited for her all those years while she was behind bars, how he showed up for her in every interview, how he championed her comeback like it was his own, and how he never once looked away. She was his queen, and he wore that title proudly as her king. People admired that. It gave their story weight, it gave it soul. But now, the love story has cracked, and instead of healing behind closed doors, every piece of the fallout is being aired out like dirty laundry on a windy day. It is never easy when love turns sour, especially when that love had once been loud, powerful, and public. We are not just talking about a breakup here. We are watching the collapse of a bond that many believed could withstand anything. Remy Ma, who has always come off strong and unshakable, now seems visibly bitter and frustrated. Whether that pain is rooted in regret, guilt, or resentment, only she truly knows, but it is showing. And Papoose? He is not staying silent anymore. The man who once kept things classy and quiet has now picked up the same playbook that Remy used during her coldest moments, posting messages, putting screenshots, out there, letting folks know he is hurting too. The irony of it all is hard to ignore. Papoose, who spent so many years being Remy's backbone, is now standing in the emotional space she once occupied. He is refusing to leave her house, sending messages she allegedly shared, and choosing to speak up in a way that seems aimed to match her energy. Maybe it is petty. Maybe it is payback. Or maybe it is just pain, raw, unprocessed pain that finally boiled over. Either way, this is not the love we remember. This is not the bond we rooted for. This is not what we expected from a couple who stood together through things most people would never survive. Let us be honest. It is always heartbreaking when two people who once looked at each other like they hung the stars in the sky end up treating each other like enemies. Something about that shift stings. It makes you reflect on your own relationships, your own hope in people, your own belief in the